Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
It's a bundle of joy to report this evening. This picture captures neighbor Jim Henningsen, who is being credited with uniting a family as he carries a missing 18-month-old boy. We've been following this breaking story out of Ellendale, North Dakota all afternoon. And thankfully, the nearly 5-hour search involving planes, drones, and hundreds of people has come to a happy end. Emergency officials tell us 18-month-old DJ was found a little less than a mile from his family's home, wearing just a diaper. Neighbor Jim Henningsen says he saw a little white head by the river. He later found DJ near a bridge. Henningsen was, as we mentioned, one of hundreds searching for little DJ. Emergency officials tell us that DJ was dehydrated and tired when he was found, but he's doing just fine right now. A press conference with the family is about to begin any minute. We will bring you that live. Dickey County Emergency Services tell us that in the future, they need to develop a plan if anything like this were to happen again, saying hopefully this was their warning. 18 predators are off the streets after an underage sex sting that spanned several days. A sting Fargo Police Chief David Todd is calling sickening, appalling, and disgusting. 6 men were arrested in Clay County on the first day of the Operation Guardian Angel. Court documents show that officers posted advertisements on Backpage.com, Craigslist, and Whisper. Officers posed as girls ages 15 to 17. The age ranges of the men arrested in Clay County range from 20 to 62. Now in Cass County, there were 12 men arrested on the second day of the sting. Their ages range from 20 to 54. Most of those arrested live in the FM area, and others were just passing through when responding to the ads. The results of Operation Guardian Angel were revealed at a joint press conference this morning in Fargo. Fargo and Moorhead police laid out what they found with the help of 7 other law enforcement agencies. They said there was a similar operation conducted last year that netted few arrests. Officers say this shows we have a growing community with growing crime in new areas.
It's a sickening thing that we have going on, and we're going to do our best to continue to combat it so that anybody that's looking at one of these places that hosts ads for these kind of connections, hopefully the person sitting behind the computer gets the message.
We have much more online, including how officers communicated with the men arrested in Clay County, as well as more remarks from this morning's press conference. Just search for this story on our homepage, valleynewslive.com. The man suspected in the death of a South Fargo woman is now formally charged in the case. Landon Luegi is accused of murdering and raping Corey Terlecki. Investigators say Terlecki's blood was found on Luegi's shirt. Police say the two knew each other. Surveillance video shows them together the night before her body was found and also shows him driving her vehicle the next day.
They definitely knew each other. They were not strangers. I don't want to get into the specifics of the relationship, but they were acquainted with each other, yes.
Terlecki was found at her South Fargo home on May 15th. Court documents say investigators almost immediately ruled her death suspicious based on blood found in her home and the fact that she was partially clothed. 4 men are in jail following a drug bust that started in the parking lot of the Crookston City Library. Jackson Bergen, Charles Collins, Joel DeLong, and James Peters each face 1 count of possession of meth within a prohibited zone. It's a felony charge that carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us how public awareness resulted in this bust.
This case is a great illustration of just how important your awareness and tips to police can be. It started during the noon hour Monday. A white 4-door car pulled into the parking lot of the Crookston City Library. An alert citizen inside the library noticed what appeared to be a drug deal going down inside the car parked in the parking lot. He called police and a stop was quickly made. A nearby patrol took the call and saw the car with 4 men driving out of the parking lot. The group was pulled over just 2 blocks away. The stop led to a search of the car and meth was found. All 4 men in the car, Jackson Bergeron, Charles Collins, Joel DeLong, and James Peters, all face a felony charge of possession since they were next to a city park by the library when this all started. Police are not willing to comment on this case because it may be part of something much bigger. It's all been turned over to the Drug Task Force. However, it does show the power of the public when folks see something and say something to police. In Crookston, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Minnesota law provides a felony charge for the possession of drugs if the crime occurs near schools or public parks. If you are buying or selling something online and meeting a stranger in person to make the exchange, you can now do it safely. Take a look. Fargo police have provided an area specifically for these exchanges. It's located on the west side of the police department. The area is under 24-hour surveillance. However, police note it is not monitored and they will not assist in the transaction. The federal government is considering screening social media accounts of foreign travelers to help identify possible terrorists. Under the proposal, non-citizens traveling to and from the U.S. on a visa waiver could be asked about their social media profiles, but not their passwords. The U.S. Customs and Border Patrol would ask travelers to volunteer their handles on their social media platforms, such as Facebook and Twitter. The proposal is in a 60-day public comment period before it's formally considered. And it's a quiet today, and the wind is dying down after being pretty brisk earlier. So what about tonight? Well, here's Robert Hahn with a look at first weather. Robert?
We'll continue to see some brisk winds as we head through the rest of the evening. There will be subsiding later on tonight. And the sunshine that we're seeing in parts of the valley, clouds and others, and cool front that moved through late last night, early this morning, ushered in some much cooler weather. Temperatures well below where they should be at this time of year, mostly into the 60s, 67 degrees here in Fargo, 63 up in Grand Forks. And the winds, they've been strong. They continue to be strong over the next few hours, gusting up to 30 miles per hour. And we'll see those gusty winds for the next few hours before they begin to subside. On the satellite, we do have some clouds up across the northern portions of the valley. Across the south, we've been seeing quite a bit of sunshine over the last little while. Underneath what clouds we do have, no precipitation out there. None is anticipated. Here in Fargo, as we head through the rest of the evening, it's going to be breezy and cool, with temperatures maybe warming up another degree or so before going the other direction later on tonight into the low 60s by 9 o'clock. Some crisp temperatures overnight tonight, but we do have a nice warm-up as we head through the holiday weekend, but some storm chances to talk about as well. We'll get to all that here in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Robert. More changes are coming up to the 8th Street construction project in Moorhead. MnDOT expects to open the auxiliary lanes on I-94 soon, and that will provide more room for those getting on I-94 and 20th Street. And starting next week, drivers will not be able to go east at the intersection of 8th Street and 30th Avenue South. 30th Avenue will no longer be able to be used as a through street across 8th. Drivers can still go south and west on 8th from I-94, just not east.
They're working south of 30th and they're working north of 30th. Yes. At some point, they got to connect those and get that together.
Nearly all MnDOT road work will stop at noon on Friday and pick back up on Tuesday due to travel over the holiday weekend. A Crookston hero received some recognition and reward today after saving a 15-year-old boy from a burning home yesterday. Mike and Cindy O'Keefe, the owners of McDonald's, presented Sidney Mosley with a $100 gift certificate today. Mosley said he was on his way to McDonald's for breakfast when he saved 15-year-old Christopher Erickson. Mosley ran into a burning home 3 times before he found and brought Erickson to safety.
When I seen the girl crying and saying that her brother was still in there, so I asked her one more time, and I kind of like covered my face and went in through the smoke, and I don't know if she told me which way to go, and I kind of seen a light in the room, and it was a sliding door.
Anyway, you found him.
It was found him, yeah.
The cause of that fire remains under investigation. And check out the newest member of the Valley Today family. Kyle Bosch and his wife Crystal are the proud parents of their first child. Claire Campbell Bosch was born Tuesday afternoon at 6 pounds 14 ounces. Mom, baby, and dad are all doing great. A homeless man in Minnesota has been reunited with his stolen service dog. That's thanks to Good Samaritans and a local police department. It's been more than a month since Mike Heath has seen Baby, and it's a moment Heath wasn't sure would ever happen. The homeless man says he has PTSD and was prescribed the dog almost 10 years ago. In fact, he says they never spent a day apart in all that time until Baby was stolen last month. Sisters Tony and Andy Johnson spotted the pooch outside their store. Heath did worry that Baby's infectious personality might keep him from being returned.
I think Baby was such a good dog that he came close to turning them over and winning their heart, and maybe they wouldn't try to find the owner. And that's what I always kind of worried about. I knew that Baby could make somebody fall in love.
But the man and man's best friend are now back together, and it looks like they're both pretty happy about it. Local parks are gearing up for a full month of activities to honor Parks and Recreation Month. City leaders from Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead gathered today to encourage people to get out and enjoy the places that provide an area to stay healthy. Park leaders say between the 3 metro parks, they coordinate events to save taxpayers money and remind people to take advantage of the activities. To see some upcoming contests and activities the parks are hosting, click on this story on our website.